Here are my first impressions of Majora's Mask, The Legend of Zelda. Really cool game. Probably, and is my favorite Zelda. Maybe I just hated Zelda at the time and didn't like stuff being like Ocarina. Not really. I didn't really hate Ocarina. But anyway, I played it. I played Ocarina and wasn't overly attached. Some were. Big headache for the Zelda franchise later on for the developers and the marketing team, as I will discuss my Wind Waker First Impressions video. Clock Tower could be a world like Disney World. All the characters were memorable. All the characters do stuff, and it's always busy, and there's all this AI and programming opposed to the staticness of the characters just saying minor quotes that don't really mean anything in Ocarina of Time. The Bomber's Notebook is a very good merchandise equipment thing. Merchantainment, whichever, is what gives ideas of what characters can do in the book, in the video game, and helps people out with the game. I love the Dancing Mask. Goron and Zora Mask were cool too. Too bad they didn't introduce other characters. They could have basically made this like Pokemon, and it was made by Nintendo, who made Pokemon. I don't know how much input Satoru Iwata had on the Majora's Mask franchise, or Majora's Mask game. I don't want to preview too much of my other articles, but I do find it weird that they couldn't create as many worlds for Legend of Zelda for the N64 as they did with Super Mario 64, which had like maybe 20 worlds, I don't know, 125 stars. Like, that felt like a much longer game, and even though you didn't have that many abilities or that many enemy sprites, like, it felt like, I don't know. Also, Pokemon Coliseum, I don't know, maybe they thought about it later, but Pokemon Coliseum basically just used the Pokemon battle system and programming and then just translated it over to the N64. Because of Satoru Iwata, rest in peace. Very good job. That's more of a segue, another article. Anyway, I feel that Majora's Mask is way more of a time-traveling game than Ocarina was. And I really like this mechanic. It's executed way better than Lightning Returns did it. And it's really set a standard. It's really weird how it's not compared with like Chrono Cross or Chrono Trigger or the other time-traveling games. It's really a time-traveling classic. I mean, I myself wasn't a fan of Groundhog's Day, but actually reenacting Groundhog's Day as Link and going through arcs and all the characters and everything yourself is actually a very interesting game. Nintendo should make a Groundhog's Day game based off Majora's Mask engine. That would be pretty cool. I love the Skulltula quest. It was pretty much like collecting stars in Mario 64, but harder. I didn't know why people complained about Majora's Mask. I disagreed with my friends politely because I didn't really want. I was a pretty passive guy. They had recycled palettes and it was pretty much looked like the same game, but you know, it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool game from all I said. I had a lot of fun. I knew all the characters. They liked Ocarina better, but I didn't think Ocarina was that good. I mean, it was good, but I never really considered it a masterpiece at the time. Later on, get to that later, consider it more of a classic, but I really consider Majora's Mask a much better game and one of my favorites and a real masterpiece. And that was early on when I didn't have all these film criticism, analysis of visuals and stuff. Majora's Mask, what else I would say about Majora's Mask? I mean, it was done, I didn't know this, I'll say that for number one. I really don't understand Backlash. It looked the same, but I had fun with also the mask. I said about the mask before, but they could have done more, but it was way better than the tunics. I didn't really think about that before, but it's true, and I definitely thought about it subconsciously. I love the masks compared to the tunics. Yeah, pretty funny. In the article, I even mentioned Zelda Coliseum. That's a brand for Nintendo to think about. I mean, you tell a much better story about the world when you wear the mask and then you see other responses. You not only do time travel in the game, but you can wear masks and then get other responses. Like, that's really cool. It's basically Zelda, Triforce Heroes, and Four Swords Adventures, except you're the same guy, just wearing different masks. And some of them don't really make you look different, but you get mistaken and get different responses. Text is cheap, but like, that's really cool storytelling in Majora's Mask. It was very replayable, which is a major thing in video games. That films, it's important in films too, but like in games, it's even more important. Like, if you're playing a game and you can only play it one time enjoying it, it's not as much of a classic as if you play it multiple times and enjoy it. And also, in addition, like films, notice different things about it all the time. This is how you play Majora's Mask on the first time. That's pretty impressive. And there's some stuff I want to say about Majora's Mask compared to Shenmue, which is interesting. Like, they're both open world and stuff. This Shenmue didn't come out, so I didn't have this thought then, but like, this was basically a precursor to the Shenmue. It was really open-ended before Grand Theft Auto. I mean, it was around the time. It was at the end of the N64 cycle, but it was really an innovative game. That was probably another factor too. It was at the end of the N64 cycle where everyone was probably getting excited about other games for the next gen. But I felt it was really cool. It was a really cool game. It's been a major factor into the Zelda month and why I really enjoy it. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to talk about. It was a really cool game, and Zelda month, talk all about it. Yes, go.